Hello everyone. So today I'm going to start the topic the for statement, and in my previous video I have discussed about the repetition structures, and inside the repetition structures there are three statements which we use, and the two statements we have discussed in the previous video. Now we will discuss about the for statement. Okay, so in the previous video I have discussed about the while and do while structures. Okay, it is under the repetition structures. So as repetition structure stands for that something or the some actions which need to be repeat again and again until and unless it fulfills the required condition. Okay, so now let us start with the for statement. So the for loop is most widely used Java loop construct. The structure of the Java for statement is as below. So for loop, it is very useful and very used Java loop which we use in the programming language, and the syntax for writing the for loop in Java programming is we write with the keyword starts with for, and in the parenthesis or we can say small bracket we write it as counter is equals to initial value, test condition and change counter, and we separate these things with the help of semicolon between them. Okay, and inside this for loop, as we have to write the statements inside this for loop, so we will start it with curly braces and end with the curly braces. Okay, so now we'll also see that what is meant by the initial value, test condition and what is the change counter over here. So let us proceed further for this. Firstly, semicolon separate the three parts of a for loop. So which I have told you that this is these three parts get separated with each other with the help of semicolon. Okay, now the initial value initializes the value of the loop counter. Initial value, it means that the value is going to be initialized. How we initialize any value in Java programming? We assign any value. When we assign any value to a variable, so we call it the initialization. Okay, after that there is test condition. So from the name it is clear that now it will check for the particular condition, like in do while and while statement we have taken the condition as we have to check that the number was less than equals to 5, as we have to take the squares of the number from 1 to 5. The condition which we were using in do while and while, it was a example. Okay, so the condition for that we were using number is less than equals to 5. So this is the test condition. Okay, now the loop is exited when the test condition fails. Okay, after that the step updates the counter in each loop iteration. It means this change counter, it means it update the value. Okay, it update that number which we have initialized to a variable. So now let us consider an example and make it more clear. So firstly, in for expression we have taken 4, after that int number is equals to 1. So the syntax of initializing any variable in Java programming is firstly we write the data type, then we write the variable. Here variable is number, and we initialize the value 1 to the variable number. Okay, after that semicolon, then next we write the test condition. Test condition is number less than equals to 5. After that we write the plus plus number. As previously also I have discussed that it means the increment operator. Okay, it means that it update the next value, or it update the previous value. Like if number is 1, so now it will update it with adding 1 more in that number, so it will become 2. After that execution, we execute the number by 1 again, so 2 plus 1 become 3. So like this we take the initial updating the number. Increment, we call it the increment. This plus plus symbol tells the increment operator. After that I have to write that if any condition, okay, if any number satisfy all the three conditions, then what the statements will execute it, we will write that statements in the for loop, where we write these statements in the for loop, that what we want in the print, what we want the print output. So we will write that thing in for loop. Now we will study about that how this for loop works. Okay, so now firstly, when the loop begins, the variable number is set to 1. So here we have initialized it that number is equals to 1. So our loop will begin with 1. Okay, after that the test condition is checked. Number 1 is less than equals to 5. Yes, 1 is less than 5. Okay, so in this case, as this two conditions, test condition and this thing is true, so now what will happen, that test, we have tested all this thing. Now if it is the body of the loop is executed, the square of 1 is printed. Okay, the first thing is that firstly we will check this thing, as we have initialized it with 1. Next thing what we will do, we'll check that 1 is less than equals to 5. Yes, and if it met these two conditions true, so now loop will, control will come to this statement system.out.print. so it will print the output, we will get square of 1 is equals to 1. Okay, this will the output. After printing this output, then again control will come to this part, this plus plus number. Now what this plus plus number will do, as we are having number is equals to 1, now I have to increment, I am using increment operator. So 1 will get increment by 1. So 1 plus 1 will become 2. So now the next loop will be executed for number 2. So in that case, what will happen? Okay, so for this, let us come to this, the step that increments count by 1. Now the test condition is tested again to decide whether to execute the body. So if it is less than 5, the square of the variable number is printed, whose number exceed 5, the loop is exited. So now number has become 2. So what will happen? It will come to this condition. Now number is less than equals to 5. Yes, 2 is less than 5. So again the control will come to this print statement and it will print the square of number 2. So what the output we will get? That square of 2 is equals to 4. Okay, I'll get the output that square of 2 is equals to 4. Now the control will come to this plus plus number and the number 2. Previously the number was 2. So when 2 will get incremented by 1, what it will become? Number will become 3. So now the test condition will be checked for like 3 is less than equals to 5. 3 is less than 5. Yes. So now again the loop will get executed. So this loop will keep on executing till we get the number greater than 5. Why? Because test condition will only execute till the number is less than or equals to 5. Means the number is 1, 2, 3, 4 or number is itself 5. So only this thing. When the condition is true for this, then only we'll get the output. Otherwise the loop will exit. So as the number will become 6, our loop will not give us the output. Okay. So the output from the program is the squares of number from 1 to 5. Now for number is equals to 1, number is less than or equal to 5, execute the body of the loop, increment number, loop back to the test condition. Okay, means after incrementing it will, loop will come back to the test condition. It was all. So like this way we can use the for loop. Similarly the process will be continue if we want to use decrement loop. Increment for increasing the number by 1. Now decrement is for decreasing the number by 1. Okay, so in this case if I want to check this loop with the help of decrement operator, so in that case my test condition will get opposite. Opposite means I'll use the test condition for number is greater than equals to 1 and here I'll initialize the number equals to 5. Why I have initialized here the number is equals to 5? Because here I am using decrement operator. So as if I will take the number is equals to 1, then what will happen if I will decrement that number by 1? I'll get the 0. So there is no use of finding the square of the number. Okay. So in this case, in the decrement loop, what it happens, that the greater number till which I have to execute that case, I'll initialize that number and loop for loop I will take greater than equals to 1, because I have to check for 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so if number is 5, I will check here that 5 is greater than equals to 1. So yes, 5 is greater than 1. So in that case, these two statements will executed, and after that control will come to number equals to number minus 1. So as the number was 5, so 5 minus 1 gives me 4. So now the test condition will come here. Again it will check 4 is greater than equals to 1. Yes, 4 is greater than 1. So now again the for loop will get, the statement inside the for loop will get executed, and I will get the square of 4, that is square of 4 is equals to 16. Okay, so like this I will get the output till I get the square of number 1. Okay, so the loop index can be incremented or decremented by any value, not just 1. So here I have taken the example of 1, like I am incrementing and decrementing by number 1, but it is not necessary. You can increment or decrement the number by any number, but it depends upon the output, that the what output you want to get. Okay, now it displays all odd numbers between 1 and 20. What the following loop increments the loop index by 2. It displays all odd numbers between 1 and 20. After that, what it happens? See, now I have taken int count equals to 1, count less than 20, count equals to count plus 2. Again this count is a variable. Okay, count is a variable. Now I am testing the condition for what? Count is less than equals to 20, 1 is less than 20. Yes, so what I'll get the print? Count was 1, so I'll get the output 1 over here. Now the control will come to count equals to count plus 2. Okay, so count, I was having the count 1 at first time, at initial point I was having count equals to 1. So here 1 equals to 1 plus 2. So here what is happening? See, count is incrementing by 2. Now count will become 3. Condition, count less than equals to 20. 3 is less than 20, right? So it will print this statement. So in this case I'll get the count 3. Okay, means the output I will get, first time I'll get the output as 1, second time I will get the 3. Okay, after that I will get 3 plus 2 5, I will get the count 5. So it is for the increment operator. So it is for the example, like you can also use any number of increment or decrementing the loop. Okay, now the counter in the loop iterates with count values 5 6 7 8 9. Iterates means it's repeating. Okay, for a total of 5 times. Notice that the test condition is count less than 10 instead of count less than equals to 20. It means here count is equals to 5. Okay, so 5 is less than 10. Yes, so I'll get the, it will print the count. So count out, I will get the output 5. Now count plus plus, it means the count will become 6. Now again it will check for 6 is less than 10. So this condition will become, this test condition will become false when the count will become 10, because here the condition is count is less than 10. If it was equals to 10, then I will also taking the number 10. But now I will check this condition only for the number 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So it was all about the for loop, that how it works. Okay, so firstly I'll initialize it, then the test condition is checked. If the test condition is true, then the 4 statements get executed. Okay, and then this, after executing the 4 statements, then the number will get increment, means the increment or decrement counter, this counter will get increment or decrement only after executing these two conditions, these two statements. Okay, so firstly this need to be checked, then this need to be checked. If it is true, then the statement inside the for loop will get checked. Okay, and after that number will get increment. Okay, means this thing will get after printing these statements. And if this is false, if test condition is false, then control will come out of the for loop and no output will get printed. So this was all about the for loop in the Java programming language. So in next video we'll start the next topic, that is arrays in Java programming. Till then, have a nice day and thank you.